If you're a teacher giving instructions to students, there's something you expect the student to do in response to the instruction. The same is true with God. When God gives us His Word that is filled with all kind of commands, instructions, and guidance for our lives, then God says, I'm going to now watch how you respond. Here are my instructions. Now it's on you. Here are my instructions. Now you get to choose what you will do with them. How will you respond to what I've asked you, commanded you, instructed you to do? And there are various ways that we can respond. Some people respond this way. They resent and reject God's commands. There are people all over the world today saying no to God. People all over the world today, they know what is right and they know what is wrong, but they reject the commandments of God. They say, no, not going to live that way. I'm rejecting it from my life. There are others, they respond to God's instruction by rationalizing and attempting to justify their disobedience. Let me explain what I mean by that. A lot of people will know what the Bible says, but say, I understand it says this, but that really doesn't apply to me. It applies to somebody else. That's a really great verse for my husband. That's a really great verse for my wife. That's a really great verse for whoever fill in the blank, for whoever you may be thinking of. But it really does. God, you don't know. My situation is different. Okay? My situation is different, God, and so we begin to justify our disobedience. There are lots of folks that know what God says, but they're pushing away the command of God just by justifying and rationalizing their disobedience to God. And it's very easy to do because we can deceive ourselves and thinking that something really doesn't apply to us when it truly does apply to us. And then there are others who respond to God in this way. They obey, but they obey grudgingly. I'll do it. I'm not very happy about it, but I'll do it. And they live a life of misery because they're always obeying God out of frustration. They're obeying God out of duty rather than out of love, out of a love relationship. And so they obey grudgingly. And here's the best way to respond is to obey wholeheartedly. And this is what God is looking for from us. That when God gives us a set of instructions, we're to obey how? Wholeheartedly, with all of our heart. To put our whole heart and our joy into that obedience.